Today I fucked up and heard the 4 words you never want to hear during sex. Call me an ambulance. So this all went down a few weeks ago when I was visiting my lovely boyfriend. See, sex was never that big a thing for us. We waited over a year to have sex for the first time to make sure we felt comfortable, and honestly are still figuring it out and trying new things. So on a whim, I bought a cute set of lingerie, much more playful and revealing than anything I've owned before. I was feeling it that night, so I slipped into the set underneath my hoodie and pants as we settled in to watch a movie. It was honestly quite a terrible movie, but it was one that was so bad it was funny, and it was his first time seeing it, so I was making sure he didn't get too distracted before it was over. That said, around half an hour to the end he found my outfit and started getting impatient. Now I admit, I teased him for a while, having fun while he knew he had to sit there and, at least pretend to, watch the movie. Finally, the movie ended and I think you can imagine what happened, so I won't go into many details, but our clothes were soon on the floor and his dick is lined up and ready. And so he starts pushing in a bit, then a bit more, until we hear a pop and he throws /me off of him. His lower stomach is covered in blood and the look of shock on his face told me he was as clueless as I am. He actually asked me if I was okay first. As soon as he realized I was not, in fact, the one bleeding out at an obscene rate, he looked me in the eyes and asked for an ambulance, before jumping up and running to the bathroom. After an interesting conversation with the 911 dispatcher, it's about 2 in the morning at this point, I return and find a battle scene had gone down in our bathroom. I mean, it literally looked like a murder had occurred. Ladies, you may know an erection is due to an influx of blood, but I cannot stress how much fucking blood there was. So here we are in this tiny bathroom with blood on the bed, the floor, and him, waiting for an ambulance to come. First, 2 firefighters come in, make sure he's not in imminent danger, and tell me to pack him some clothes. Then the ambulance comes and I ask if I can go with him. No car, only to be told I think you've done enough, along with a very pointed look. At this point, I need a ride to the hospital, so I call a mutual friend who lives nearby. But I'm not sure how much my boyfriend wants to share, so the conversation goes a little like this. Friend, what the fuck, you woke me up. Me. Boyfriend's name / is in an ambulance, can you drive to the hospital? F. Holy shit, what happened? Me. Don't worry about it. Finally, I get to the hospital, and let me tell you, going to the hospital to visit someone whose dick you fucked up is an interesting experience. All the nurses know what happened and are giving me weird looks, and my boyfriend's sitting in a room covered in blood and a towel. Finally the self-proclaimed dick doctor came over and filled us in. My boyfriend may not have been circumcised before, but he was now halfway there. His foreskin tore off, because guess what? He was too fucking hard, I was too tight, and he was predisposed to this happening. So word of advice, next time you want to tease your so don't do such a good job. Too long didn't read, I teased my boyfriend a bit too much and he was so turned on his foreskin ripped when we tried to have sex, making it look as if a murder had occurred. Edit, this seems to be concerning to a lot of guys, so I want to clarify that he wasn't in any pain. Still wouldn't recommend it though. Second edit, answering some commonly asked questions. Yes, we will be using lube in the future. He's doing much better now but is sad he can't have sex for a bit, and the medical explanation is that he tore his frenulum. It's technically possible in all uncircumcised men, but he was apparently just more prone to it. And no, he didn't have phimosis, and should have worded it better, but definitely not our first time having sex. Also silver. Thank you guys, seriously. I posted here cause I can't tell too many people in my life. Not a very professional story if you know what I mean, and was tired of keeping it to myself, so I'm glad y'all are enjoying. Third edit, to tell my so about this post or not to tell. Fourth edit, yeah, the EMT and staff weren't awesome, but it felt more like poorly made jokes than actual aggression, so no need to be mad at them. Follow up, who is giving me wholesome awards? I fucked up my boyfriend's dick, what's wholesome about that? Question mark. I can't tell you the amount of ripped frenulums and fractured penises I've had to tend to. It happens a lot more than you think. Good to know. That was actually one of my boyfriend's first question to the dispatcher. I had this, except it was a rush to the ER, only to find out I needed testicular torsion correction surgery. Just beastin', balls deep. Oh the pleasure, oh the pain. I have partially ripped my frenulum before. Can confirm, it is unpleasant. Frenulum, not a doctor. You ripped his foreskin like the Incredible Hulk in a plaid shirt. Don't make me horny. You wouldn't like it when I'm horny. Not even going to lie. As a guy, this made me squeeze my legs together. We hear a pop. God damn. It makes you feel better he wasn't in any pain. In fact he came back from the ER way too hyper, insisting we stay up all night watching TV cause he wants to and he's the one who was just in the ER. Thankfully the adrenaline wore off and he forgot that idea soon enough though. Today I fucked up by unknowingly committing a crime and inadvertently turning myself into the police. So this actually happened a few weeks ago. I just moved to the suburbs of New Jersey from Philadelphia a few months ago. I was at a friend's house for a Zoom baby shower and I ended up staying all day and playing video games and eating dinner. My boyfriend met me there later on to hang out and parked next to me in the driveway. They live on the entrance to a cul-de-sac. We were getting ready to leave around 12:30 AM and my phone had died, so I figured I would back out behind him and follow him home since I am new to the area. I pulled out extra wide to give him space and I did not see a dark blue car parked behind their driveway. It was pretty hazy/foggy that night, and I scratched the side of the car with my tail light. Minimal body damage was done to the door, a few scratches, a little bit of paint from my car. I got out of my car, immediately wrote a note with my information on it, and decided to go home so I could charge my phone and call my insurance. I got home and immediately called my insurance and they requested I upload a copy of the police report. Okay, he'll call the police, let them know what happened, shouldn't be a big deal. This happens all the time, right? Wrong. The cop told me he was going to charge me with a hit and run. He accused me of being drunk. I was not at all. I offered to meet him at the station, at the scene of the accident, at my house. He refused to meet me anywhere. He told me it was too late, I had already made the wrong choice and he was forced to charge me. I started to drive back to the scene of the accident and he told me on the phone to pull over and immediately send him all of my information in an email. I complied with everything he told me to do. He told me he was going to the residence of the people whose car I hit to notify them and that they were probably going to want to press charges against me. I told him to call me back after he got done there. He never did. The next day I was able to get in touch with the neighbor who was awesome. She was super understanding and if anything was just mad. The cop showed up at her house at 1 AM. She told me he said we are forced to charge her since she left the scene and the neighbor replied she left a note. Anyone would have done that. It's 1 AM. This is not necessary, and at that point he urged them to press charges on me because I could have been drunk and am old enough to know better. A week goes by and I hear nothing from the officer. The car is in the shop getting fixed and my insurance is paying for it. The neighbors have no intent of pressing any charges against me. I send the neighbors a basket filled with milk bar cookies for causing them any trouble. Yesterday I get a ticket in the mail for leaving the scene of an accident with a mandatory court appearance and I just hired a very expensive lawyer. I work in sales and have a company car I have to drive for work. My lawyer wanted to know how the police even got involved, to which I replied I called them. I called the cops on myself. Now I have to pay a lot of money to get it fixed. I could lose my job over a bad driving record. So yeah, today I fucked up. Too long didn't read, accidentally scratched a car, thought I did the right thing, might lose my license for 6 months. Edit. Wow, did not know this would blow up. Thanks for all the support. To all the people calling me a dumbass, isn't that the entire point of this subreddit? I prefer anonymity, hence the throwaway account, for now until my court date, and afterwards I will let everyone know how it goes. Your lawyer probably already told you this/is doing this, but if you can, I would ask the seemingly very nice car owners, to either write a statement or call the prosecutor's office to say they don't want to prosecute and that you left a note with your info. If they still have the note, I would also ask them to take a picture and send it to you so your lawyer can provide it to the prosecutor's office. Furthermore, I would see if you can get any records from your insurance showing that you called it in and have paid for the damages to both vehicles. As someone who has actually prosecuted SOA cases, the prosecutors should dismiss this or at the very least offer a diversion program that results in a dismissal if you take a defensive driving course and do some community service hours. Yeah, it's not hit and run or leaving the scene of an accident if you leave your contact info on an unattended vehicle. The cop is an ass, and with an attorney the worst case scenario is a $200 fine and 2 points on your driving record. With having left the note and contacting the police department yourself the same evening, there really isn't a case. Hopefully that Judge Heat tells the cop to GTFO of his court. I wonder if the neighbors could write an affidavit about the fact he told them he had to press charges etc. Sounds like that cop had it out for. Today I fucked up by telling a stranger nobody asked that their relative died. This happened about an hour ago. I'm so embarrassed. I got a text from an unknown number, along with 20 other unknown numbers. It was a long paragraph that was filled with weird spacing and links to stuff. So I figured it was spam and thought I'd make everyone else who got it chuckle by sending back a meme that showed an empty airport queue with the caption "I think this is the line for the people who asked." Everyone else started replying with their serious condolences and prayers, and I was super confused. I went back and read the text and realized it was an invitation to a funeral service with links to the church address, service notes, etc. I was petrified with embarrassment. Then, the person who sent the original message texted me directly, apologizing that they got the wrong number and saying they were sorry for disturbing me. I apologized profusely, explained the situation, and offered my condolences. They were super cool about it, said it was no problem, and texted the main group not to send anything nasty to me as it was all a misunderstanding. I'm lucky they were so cool about it, but man, I feel like an asshole. Too long didn't read. I mistook a funeral service invitation for spam, sent an offensive meme about how nobody asked, and then realized. Original texter and I worked it out. All is well, but I feel like an ass. Knowing me, I would have said something similar, then immediately block every random number that was in the group chat, because I would believe it to be spam, and that's what I do with spam. Though I probably wouldn't have even had the chance to apologize or see the misunderstanding. So at least you caught the mistake, Lamau. Only thing left to do is go to the funeral and make a mockery of it all. Then you have came full circle. Look, brother, I work in IT, and I commend you for not blindly clicking unexpected and sort of fishy links. If even half the imbeciles I support was as careful as you, I would still hate them with a passion for multiple other reasons. But at least they'd have that. Edit, I'm putting this here because it's a pet peeve of mine. Deal with it. People love to say be glad. If users weren't so dumb, you would be unemployed. Like, helping users with their IT problems is the only possible way I can apply my skills, and if there were no stupid users I would be IT busking in the town square, offering to help retirees install apps on their phones for change, because it's not like I would just have another job. I always respect the fuck out of people who can stay cool when shit is bad. Glad it worked out, op. That sounds like a mini nightmare, lol.